Welcome to the Strength and Realty podcast. And I have special guest Sherille, good friend of mine.
Hello.
And she's doing some pretty cool things in my opinion. So I wanted to bring her on because I like bringing you interesting people onto the content. So this is going to be on the podcast. It's going to be transcribed to the YouTubes and on Facebook. So visually, you can see it on YouTube, you can see it on Facebook, on audio, on the go, on your car, it'll be on the podcast. Everything will be linked below, and we'll give Sherille's channel a plug as well, because I think you have a YouTube.
I do have a YouTube channel. It's same as my Instagram, same as my Facebook, Sedulously Fit. You can find me on all three platforms.
There we go. Very good. All right, so we're going to kick this off, and let's talk about what you do. Give me your elevator pitch.
All right, so basically what I do is I try to push health and fitness to the world. It's something that's really near and dear to my heart because it's something that I had to really delve into my own self because I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism about 4 years ago, and I was overweight, I was losing hair, I was experiencing symptoms that were just had me feeling not quite myself. And so I had to find a way to fix this and get healthy again. And so I dove right into just trying to figure out what exactly does health and fitness mean to me. And so I had to explore all these years to figure out exactly what that is. And so through that journey, I've found myself doing things that I really found that I enjoy. Like CrossFit was one of those things that I got into, and now I'm into natural bodybuilding. It's something that I also found that I really enjoy. And at the same time, I'm helping other people change their lives and, just make better choices. And that's what I really focus on.
That's my jam right there. So I will say we met through CrossFit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little tight-knit CrossFit community. And she's super genuine. She's super analytical. So I am that way. I tend to overanalyze things myself. But I think that as you can tell, and when you check out her page on her Instagram, wherever she posts out, you can see the transformation. It's quite surreal. And one thing that I've always noticed from her is she's always a hard worker, right? So, yeah, no, for real. So, and I do like to, be around hard workers, people that are trying to do good in the world, because good things will come back, and we need more good people in the world.
Definitely.
So just a kind of a small way for me to give you a little bit of recognition for what you're doing. And if you didn't pick it up, guys, she has a competition coming up. When is it again?
Yes, I have my third bodybuilding competition, September 1st.
That's crazy.
So,
That's crazy. I mean, it's go through that cut, and I mean that in itself is another level of discipline. I like to work out maybe 5 times a week, but I couldn't do that.
Yeah, we're in there 2 days, sometimes 7 days a week, honestly. Yeah. And
Awesome.
Don't top that with the nutrition. It's definitely something that requires dedication.
I guess what's going to be that meal once you're done? Once you're done with the competition, what's going to be the cheat meal? Cheat meal? Good question. Cheat meal or cheat day?
Cheat days, probably days, maybe a couple of days in a row. It's gonna be something that's super carby. That's all I have.
There you go. Super carby.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet. But...
Maybe some like curly fries.
Oh yeah, I love French fries. That's my go-to cheat for sure. Fries, pizza. I don't know. It's just gonna be great.
Pizza is my kryptonite.
Oh yeah, pizza for sure.
I will say low key Aldi pizza. It's only like $7. It is yes.
Never had it, but that sounds good.
It is like you pop it in, and like 15 minutes later
really?
it's done. And then, I mean, it's not like the best pizza you're gonna taste, but for $7, it is the best pizza you're gonna have for $7.
Plugging it, I gotta try it then. All these. All right.
Sorry, Jeremy's in the background, Sherille's husband, and he's over here like, no, come on, man, $7 pizza, come on, man. And sometimes it's the little things, like you chop up some weenies, fry them in the pan, put some eggs, like that is legit, super tasty.
For sure.
So, all right, so now you've got the competition coming up. You've had a huge transformation. So let's talk about a little bit of the entrepreneurial spirit. What has been the hardest thing, the challenge? It can be several, but let's just hit a couple things that you think. What was the hardest thing starting up? Because you were not an entrepreneur; you were just working.
Yeah.
At mind
Still
you,
do.
still do.
Same time, yeah.
So this is super side hustle here, and nothing against side hustles, because hey, you got to do it. You got to do it whatever way you can.
Yeah.
But starting off, like, I guess since you already knew in your mind, I'm doing these things, I'm changing, I want to make it happen. What made you? What was the hardest thing to make that transition?
The hardest thing I'd say is it's a demand on time. As an entrepreneur, you realize that if you're going to work a full-time job at the same time as doing entrepreneurship, you've got to be extremely maximizing on your time. I mean, like 8 to 5, you're at your job, and then after that, you're still at your job, and you start your entrepreneurship. I mean, and even when you're on your job, you're still doing your entrepreneurship. It's 24/7, literally. I mean, there are nights that I'm in bed like 12 a.m. after doing an entire day's work, and on top of that, still doing work for my entrepreneurship. So it's like it never ends, honestly. But it's something that you enjoy doing, so it's not like it takes a lot out of you because you actually want to be doing it, you know? So that's what I feel is it's rewarding at the same time, but it's still a lot of work at the same time. So, I mean, yeah, the time thing is just like, you got to learn how to adjust to it and just get used to it and be like, well, I'm doing this because it's something that I want to do at the end of the day. So I think that's the hardest part. And then also just convincing others to believe in what your product is. You have to be able to relate to people. You have to be able to show people that, hey, what I am offering you is worth your time, is worth your money. And that's something also that takes a little bit of time to really find what your niche is and how that's going to really bring people into your idea and your business. And so I think really one thing is being genuine to your customers, letting them know, I understand where you're at and this is what I'm offering, and I feel like this is going to enhance your life in this way. And I think the more genuine you are about your product, the better received it is.
Yeah, there you go. So you got to embrace the hard work, as Matt Fresher says. Hard work pays off.
It does.
And his shoes are sick, though. Have you seen this? Yeah. So supposedly they'll be back in stock.
Yeah.
Roadrunner Sports supposed to have them in stock in the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's besides the point. So hard work, having a good, clear message.
Yes. Good
For who you're trying to help, essentially.
Yes.
You could say targeting, you could say customers, but at the end of the day, I mean, we're helping people.
Right.
And fitness is I think it's a vital thing in life, because one of the reasons I do fitness is for my children, because I had knee issues, and I saw when you can't walk, it sucks, right? And then your kids, obviously, they got healthy joints, right? So they're running around, falling, doing everything. If you can't be there, you want to keep up with them, right? And not just today, like when I'm still young, like when they're older. So, and then ideally when they have kids,
right?
So I think that kind of encompasses, because it's a lifelong journey, and hopefully people get it, right?
Yeah.
And it's always good to have people that are genuine in the space, because in the fitness industry, I'm sorry, there's some people that are liars.
Yeah, they like to take advantage of people. It's a sad truth, actually.
Yeah, and maybe that's what people are used to seeing, so they grasp onto those things. And when, it's like when you hear the truth, it's like when you lie to your life and you hear the truth, that sounds like a lie. Mm-hmm. So, there is no secret sauce.
Right. No, for sure.
And
it takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes diligence.
Right. Sure. If anything, the secret sauce is that.
Exactly.
It is.
No shortcuts.
It is what people don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is you listening, and if you tried and failed, hey, by all means, keep trying.
Keep trying.
Sometimes it just takes, enough attempts for you to find out what works best for you.
And learn to be patient. I try to tell people that all the time, because they want results really quick and fast, but that's not going to happen. If you really want to properly get to where you want to be at, be patient about it. Don't try to rush the process, and learn along the way so you can stay healthy, like you're saying, for long term, because the quicker you get there, the quicker you're just going to be like, okay, well, I'm here now. I've already reached my goal. So what's the point? You know, you want to be able to learn along the way to continue that for the rest of your life. It's not something you just want to get there, get it over with type of thing.
Yeah, you don't want to yo-yo, right? You don't want to be, you don't want to get that like, oh, I got my body in 2 months, and then 2 months you're just back to what you used to do. Because that in itself is not healthy. You won't feel good. I'm sure your hormones will change, right? Because that crappy stuff makes you feel a certain way, just like eating good makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
So it's good, man. And as if you don't know, I do keto.
I also do keto.
She is
1 year keto.
She is my keto authority. So I talk a lot about keto here. So if you're starting off with keto, we'll do two things: keto, and then if you're starting just eating healthy, what do you recommend to do? And then, what do you recommend to do?
First off, learn what you're going to be doing, because a lot of people try to jump into keto or even healthy living in the first place, and they have no clue where to start, what it's about. You got to do a little bit of research, because first of all, keto in itself is not a very easy lifestyle to just jump into. A lot of people love their carbohydrates, and getting rid of them is very tough. And you feel it also. I mean, you actually feel the toughness when you start the ketogenic diet, how your body responds. Yeah, the withdrawals are terrible. And so people don't even realize that happens when they first start the ketogenic diet, and they're like, why am I feeling this way? And then that makes them want to quit immediately. Yeah. They're like, nah. So that's why I tell people, there are so many resources and books on the ketogenic diet that can help you get started. Like one I recommend is Keto Clarity by Jimmy Moore. Start there. Okay. I recommend that to people.
It's a website or that's a podcast?
It's a book. It's a book. You can find it on audiobook, and you can find it on Amazon, anything.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome.
So it's a very good book that explains everything about the ketogenic diet. So once you research and you know exactly what you're jumping into, then seek sources. Like there are so many great websites that help you at least get started, what to buy at the grocery store, what foods you need to avoid, or what foods you can possibly still have while you're on the diet. So, or lifestyle, basically. I like to call it lifestyle because it's something that I don't feel like I'm going to just be on for a little bit and then off for a little bit, which is what most diets are. To me, it's a lifestyle. It's something that I'm going to be doing daily for the rest of my life. I love the ketogenic lifestyle. So,
because diets mean the short term. That's like, hey, 30 days, 90 days, whatever. And I mean, any diet, you could say you want to give it the full course, right? Because you're going to fail. I failed in the beginning.
I did too. I did keto originally about 3 years ago, and I did not know what I was doing because I didn't properly research it. And so I did lose a little weight, mostly just water weight, like most people do. Yeah. And then I was like, nah, this isn't for me, because I didn't understand exactly what it was I was supposed to be doing. Yeah. So I let it go, and then I returned to it a year ago, and I've seen amazing results because I actually took the time to learn it the correct way. And so that's why I really recommend doing that before you jump into these different diets and things that people are offering.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about the keto love there, keto gains. So we're going to wrap up the podcast. We can go on probably for another hour here. But let's give you a little plug. Anything that you want to plug in coming up? Anything special?
So yeah, I actually design shirts just for fun. It's a hobby, but they're really like motivational tees, and some of them are just more gym-related type tees. But if you go to my Teespring store, it's just store/Sedulously Fit. You can find my shirts there, and you can check them out. Or just go to my Instagram page, which is sedulously.fit on Instagram, and you can click the link shop, and you can check those out. So just want to say, hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast, and it was great having me here today. It was great to be here with you and to talk, and I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, it was fun. We're gonna wrap it up, guys. So if you liked what we talked about today, or maybe you want to hear more, let's hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Podcast, let's leave a review, please. That helps a lot. That will help in the rankings. And maybe we can do like a part 2 sometime in the future. Maybe we get a lot of responses about this. And so we'll wrap it up there.
Questions about bodybuilding and keto, that's a whole different lifestyle.
There you go. Yeah, keto and CrossFit is hard. I'm sure keto and bodybuilding is no different. So we'll wrap it up, guys. I want to thank again Sherille for coming on the podcast, and we're going to wrap it up here in 3, 2, 1, cut.